You are hearing this because you were chosen for this book at the exact moment you were ready. Something inside you has awakened. Every single choice, delay, and difficulty in your life has been a hidden force preparing you, like a key turning in your soul to unlock a memory. This is not luck. It is a summons calling you back to your true self, pure awareness. The challenges and losses you faced were not punishment. They were preparation. Life was shaping you to be able to hold a higher, divine energy. True readiness comes when you stop resisting and let go. Breathe slowly and feel the ancient energy around you. You're stepping into this truth by agreement, not by accident. You are right on time. What you will hear are not lessons you need to learn, but reminders you already know. Let the words wash over you and simply feel them rather than overthinking. You are here to remember. Alignment has already begun. Chapter 1, The Quiet Awakening. Readiness doesn't arrive dramatically. It comes quietly, like the dawn. All the things you struggled against were actually preparing you for this moment. The call is to look inward, not forward. You don't have to prove anything to be ready. Readiness is revealed. Every heartbreak and difficult path was the universe shaping your soul. The delays you experienced were not denial, but a design guiding you. Look back and see how every challenge rearranged you. Pain created space for compassion. Loss deepened your search for truth. The storms were necessary to clear away old illusions. The universe doesn't track time. It tracks frequency, your energy. When your energy matches what you seek, doors open. You feel closer to your desires because you have changed. Readiness is resonance. The search for a doorway has always been a search within yourself. Readiness is about remembering the way home. Awakening doesn't start, it unveils. The path appears as you walk it. Readiness is simply surrendering to divine timing. Look for the subtle signs, recurring numbers, and vivid dreams. These are echoes of your energy aligning. Trust this process. Release the feeling of not being ready. This hour is a revelation. Chapter 2, The Call to Remember. The call to remember is a soft pull in your chest, a strange familiarity in quiet moments. It is the truth of who you were before the world made you forget. That memory is deep within you. Every experience has been part of peeling back the layers to reveal your divine essence. Sometimes this remembering begins with chaos, when the life you built crumbles. This can feel like loss, but it is your soul awakening as illusions fall away. Notice the synchronicities. These are not accidents. They are clues leading you back to your original vibration. Remembering is not something the mind understands. It is something the soul knows. Close your eyes, breathe, and feel beyond your thoughts. The memory rises as a warm pulse that confirms, I have always been here. You are waking up to yourself. You are fulfilling a promise your soul made. There is no rush. The more you surrender, the faster this memory unfolds. You cannot lose the truth of who you are. It can only be hidden. Whisper, I am not lost. I am awakening. You are returning to the greatness that never left. Chapter 3, The Blueprint of Life. Everything in the universe operates under a perfect order, a sacred architecture or blueprint. What seems like chaos is actually an intricate divine design. Your life is like a constellation where every challenge and miracle is a placement of precision. Alignment is not something you create. It's something you notice. The pattern already exists, waiting for your awareness. Your consciousness breathes with this living design. When your desires come from a place of love, the structure supports you. You are the plan, remembering itself. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions match your true essence, the world outside naturally rearranges itself to create harmony. To step into alignment is to trust the pattern, not try to control it. When you stop forcing outcomes, the design reveals itself. Your intuition is your guide. You are never completely off course. You are simply turning toward deeper harmony. The universe doesn't punish mistakes. It redirects them toward greater alignment. Understand your life's blueprint. Close your eyes and feel the structure underneath your life. Everything that has happened, People who left, dreams that faded, doors that opened was a necessary adjustment to your foundation. Once you realize this, gratitude becomes automatic. You see that alignment is not a final goal. It is the dance between you and the universe's plan. The blueprint for your life has always been sound. You were never building it from scratch. You were simply uncovering it. Every experience has been a thread guiding you back to your true self. Know that you are standing in perfect alignment, exactly where you are meant to be. Chapter 4. Recognizing the signs. The universe is speaking to you. Alignment often starts with small things, an unusual repetition, a symbol you see again and again, or words overheard that match your exact thoughts. These are not accidents. They are fingerprints of divine communication. The universe speaks through synchronicities, meaningful coincidences. These signs arrive as gentle waves, a feather, a stranger's kindness, or a small delay that prevents a bigger problem. They are messages coded for your intuition, bypassing your logic. Intuition simply understands. Do not dismiss what repeats. If something keeps showing up, it is a reminder. Dreams also carry this energy, showing you symbols that reflect the universe's intent. The more aware you are, the louder these whispers become. You are being guided, not tested. Trusting the silence. Sometimes the signs stop. This is also a message. The universe pauses the echoes to strengthen your inner hearing. Silence is where trust is built. If no sign appears, it means you are ready to walk simply by faith, without needing proof. The absence of signs is often a sign of your growth. Ancient wisdom taught that the world itself is like a sacred text. When you open your senses beyond the physical, the universe becomes a living oracle. Doubt is natural. The mind resists mystery. But the more you trust the invisible, the more visible it becomes. Signs don't just prove a truth, they activate it within you. When you see a sign, stop and feel its energy. Ask yourself, what emotion or part of me is this speaking to? The universe uses symbols because they bypass resistance and touch your heart. Whisper your gratitude for the guidance. Look for the small, sacred details, a glimmer, the timing of a phone call, or warmth that rises for no reason. The divine is constantly conversing with you, letting go to be guided. At first, surrender feels like falling because the hands you use to grasp control begin to tremble. But letting go is the gateway to divine help. Control is the language of fear. Surrender is the language of trust. The universe cannot guide what you refuse to release. When you stop fighting life, you realize it was never against you. The energy of surrender is soft but powerful. It dissolves resistance without struggle. When you let go of your need to know the future, the unknown becomes your friend. You realize the river of life is already carrying you exactly where you need to go. Many confuse surrender with weakness or giving up, but it is the ultimate act of courage. It means trusting an intelligence much greater than yourself. It is recognizing that divine timing is wiser than your personal will. Surrender doesn't end your power. It refines it. Think of a bird that locks its wings in tension versus one that opens its wings and lets the wind lift it higher without effort. That is surrender. The flow of life is constant. You can choose not to resist. The more you relax into life's invisible current, the easier things become. Life flows through you, not against you, once you stop insisting on your own way. There are moments when surrender asks you to let go of everything, your plans, your fears, even your identity. It might feel like you're losing yourself, but you're only losing your limitations. When you release control, you make space for grace. Life then arranges events with an elegance you could never plan. You don't fall apart. You fall into alignment. You can practice this by taking the sacred breath of yielding. Breathe in clarity and breathe out control. This balances your personal will with the flow of the universe. Trusting the pain surrender also means accepting that pain is part of the process. Sometimes, letting go hurts because it peels away illusions that are clinging to you. But beneath the pain, light always emerges. What collapses was not meant to stay. Surrender turns endings into new openings. Everything you release returns to you as wisdom. Close your eyes and whisper, I release the need to control what is already guided. Feel the peace after the struggle of trying so hard. This is the holy pause where miracles begin. When you surrender, you become the flow itself, and the flow never fails. The quiet guide. You have a subtle, ancient voice beneath your thoughts that guides you with whispers. It never argues. It simply knows. This is your inner compass, the wisdom of your soul. It doesn't need proof to trust. It feels direction through resonance, energy. Every time a hunch led you to something good, that was your compass speaking. In our noisy world, this guidance is often drowned out. To awaken it, you must silence the mental chatter. Listen not with your ears, but with your energy. The truth waits for you to be quiet enough to hear. Following intuition, sometimes, your inner compass will pull you toward choices that make no sense to your logical mind. This is because it uses higher maps that your brain cannot see. Logic follows what is known. Intuition follows the infinite. When you honor what you feel over what you fear, your path flows with divine precision. Trust is the bridge between your intuition and your actions. Each time you follow the compass, you strengthen its signal. Fear fades when faith becomes your natural rhythm. You realize that coincidence is actually coherence, the world adjusting to match your inner clarity. The more you trust, the louder the compass becomes. The compass promises truth. The inner compass does not promise comfort. It promises truth. It will sometimes lead you away from what feels safe and toward transformation. It asks for your courage, not your certainty. Doubt may return, but when it does, remember, the compass has never led you astray. Every detour was protection, and every delay was a divine recalibration. Let intuition become your constant companion. Consult it before every choice. Say quietly to yourself, I follow the pull of my inner knowing. The way ahead doesn't need to be known. It only needs to be felt, facing the pain. Healing starts when you stop running from yourself. It's not about escaping pain. It's about turning toward it with courage. The wounds you carry are not punishments. They're invitations to look deeper. Every ache and shadow only asks to be seen. Awareness is the medicine that dissolves suffering. When you look at your pain with love, it loses its power to harm you. You cannot erase the past, but you can transform it. When awareness meets pain, it releases the wisdom it has been holding. Every wound is a messenger. You may have once thought pain meant you were flawed, but your soul measures in growth. The cracks in your heart are not flaws. They are openings for light to enter. What you resist stays, but what you embrace begins to soften, shining a light on suffering. Awareness doesn't fix things, it reveals them. When you shine consciousness on your suffering, you see its roots and its pattern. If the same lesson keeps appearing in different ways, seeing that loop clearly helps you break free from it. Awareness ends the repetition of unconscious pain. Your body and soul speak the same language, sensation. Pain in the body is often an echo of unexpressed emotion. To heal, you must listen, not suppress. When your chest tightens, ask what emotion is there. Whisper, I see you. This seeing is the beginning of release. Healing takes patience. Your soul honors divine timing. Some wounds heal in layers. Trust the speed of your own process. Healing is not a straight line. It spirals deeper until you find peace. Forgiveness is simply awareness turned outward. When you see the pain behind another person's hurtful actions, compassion arises. You realize they harm not from malice, but from their own blindness. Forgiving others frees you from their negative energy, returning you to your whole and clear self. Place your hand over your heart and feel its rhythm. Say softly, I no longer hide from my healing. Every time you choose to truly see yourself, you become your own healer. Life is a mirror. Everything about you is vibration. Your thoughts, emotions, and presence all send out a silent song. The universe doesn't respond to your words, but to your resonance, your energy. Whatever frequency you hold, you call its echo back to you. Life is a mirror that reflects the music you play. The law of resonance teaches that attraction is reflection, not pursuit. You don't chase what you want, you harmonize with it. When your inner energy matches what you seek, the universe must reflect it. Resonance is neutral. It matches your vibration without judgment. This is why fear attracts more fear, and gratitude multiplies blessings. The world reads your emotional signature more clearly than your spoken prayers. You cannot fake alignment. True harmony happens when your belief, feeling, and actions all sing one clear song. Tuning your instrument. You're like a tuning fork, constantly broadcasting your state of being. Every person and opportunity that enters your life has heard your song. The universe isn't choosing for you, it is echoing you. To master resonance, you must become aware of your energy. Notice how certain thoughts affect your body. Observe how some people lift your energy while others drain it. Awareness is your tuning process. When you align emotion with intention, when love fuels your thought and gratitude anchors your feeling, your resonance becomes magnetic. When challenges appear, don't resist them. Ask, what within me is this experience echoing? Every situation is feedback, not punishment. Change the inner note, and the external melody shifts. You're not attracting by desire. You are aligning by being. Whisper, I align with the vibration of peace. The law of resonance is a remembrance. You are the sound that shapes the universe. The sacred pause. There is a rhythm beyond your schedule, divine timing. While your mind wants instant answers, your soul knows that delay is a sacred preparation. What you call waiting is actually the divine weaving all elements of your destiny together unseen. Patience is trust in this invisible plan. Every closed door and pause hold a purpose. When you learn to rest in divine timing, resistance turns into peace. The universe is always exact, responding to your frequency, not your urgency. You may feel frustrated when you don't see progress, but nothing is wrong. Sometimes, the stillness is calibration. Your energy must settle before creation can respond. The waiting period is the womb of manifestation. Imagine planting a seed and yelling at it to grow. The soil nurtures it in silence, beneath the surface. Divine timing works the same way. What appears quiet is alive in preparation. The unseen always moves before. Measure growth, not speed. Don't ask, when will it happen? Ask, who am I becoming as I wait? That answer is your true progress. Human timing is ruled by the fear of missing out, but divine timing knows no scarcity. The universe doesn't withhold, it synchronizes. If things seem delayed, your energy is likely still aligning with your next level. You are not being denied, you are being refined. Even disappointment is part of the divine choreography. The door that closed redirected you to the one meant for your growth. The things that slipped away were actually stepping stones in disguise. When you look back on your life, you will see that nothing was random and nothing was wasted. You are in rhythm. Divine timing will make everything make sense later. Let go of your idea of when things should happen and trust the process. You are not behind. You are moving in harmony with something vast and good. The universe moves when you are ready to receive, and readiness cannot be rushed. Whisper, I release my timeline and surrender to divine order. Every person is a reflection. Every person you meet is a reflection of you, a piece of your own energy wearing another face. Relationships are not accidents. They're assignments. They mirror the energy you hold, showing you both your light and your flaws. Sometimes the reflection is easy and harmonious, showing you what alignment feels like. Other times, the reflection creates friction, exposing old pain. These difficult people are not punishments. They are healers in disguise. They show you where you still need to welcome love, the true purpose of connection. When two people meet in awareness, they become conscious mirrors for each other's growth. The people who challenge you the most are often the ones your soul trusts to help you open up to your own light. The true purpose of connection is not to complete you, but to remind you that you are never incomplete. Relationships are remembrance disguised as duality. People show up at precise moments to give you a push or shatter an illusion. Honor each one because they played a role in your awakening. True relationship begins when you stop expecting others to fill your emptiness. The love you seek must be awakened within you first. Forgiveness is polishing the mirror. When you release judgment, the mirror shines clearly, revealing the divinity in both yourself and the other person. Take a deep breath and think of someone who challenged you. Whisper, "I see you. I thank you for showing me myself." Feel how the tension softens. In the sacred mirror, all that remains is truth, and truth is always love. The inner reset button. Movement happens in the outer world, but stillness shapes the inner. Beneath all the noise and thoughts is a sacred pause where truth breathes. The power of stillness is that it strips away illusion. When you stop chasing the next moment, you meet the eternal now, and in the now, everything aligns. Stillness is the presence of awareness. It is the point where everything resets. When you sit quietly, you're not doing nothing. You are tuning into the hum of the universe. The mind resists silence, but peace waits there patiently. All creation is born from stillness. Your becoming begins in the hush of presence. Stillness is not retreating, it is recalibration. There is great strength in the person who can rest while the world rushes. To be still is to be rooted in awareness. Like an oak tree, you stand firm while life moves around you. The healing in quiet. Stillness also reveals emotions you have been ignoring. When you slow down, suppressed feelings rise to the surface. They come not to harm you, but to leave. Awareness heals what noise avoids. As you practice quiet, you begin to sense subtle guidance, the whisper of intuition. This is the divine conversation you were too busy to hear. Stillness is the receiver of divine frequency. Close your eyes. You're already in the place you were trying to reach. The power you sought through effort has always been born of stillness, the partnership of creation. Creation begins with intention, the seed of what you want to manifest. But the seed cannot bloom without flow. Intention gives direction. Flow grants grace. You speak to the universe with intention, and you listen to its reply by entering flow. The mistake is to try to force your intentions. Intention is not about control. It is about coherence, clear energy. When you move with the river instead of against it, your will merges with divine will. The outcome is always perfect. Flow is a state where your soul takes the lead. You cannot plan flow. You allow it through surrender and trust. The universe moves through you effortlessly when you stop interrupting with doubt. Balance is key. Ancient teachings said to set an intention like an arrow, and then step aside and let the wind carry it. You must balance the focus of purpose, intention, with the ease of trust, flow. When intention burns without flow, you get exhausted. When flow lacks intention, you lose direction. Harmony is found in balancing doing and being. Your task is to sense which is true in each moment. The river does not force its path, yet it always reaches the sea. Infuse your goals with gratitude and joy, not fear or lack. The universe responds not to what you want, but to how you feel about what you want. Let every intention be wrapped in the vibration of love. This is the current that carries all things home. Imagine your life as a dance where every step and every pause belongs to the same perfect choreography. Dancing with creation. Whisper, "I move with the rhythm of creation." Feel the harmony between your goals, will, and letting go, surrender. You are not fighting life. You are dancing with it. Shedding the cages. There comes a time when the old stories, identities, and roles that once made you feel safe start to feel like cages. This is not a loss. It is liberation. To release the old self is to honor what helped you in the past, but refuse to let it define you now. Your soul must evolve, and it can't do that while clinging to yesterday's version of you. Shedding the old self can feel like dying because the personality shaped by fear and expectation is dissolving. This is natural. The self you're letting go of was never the real you. It was a costume you have now outgrown. Let it fall away gently. You cannot heal while holding on to the old identity. The universe asks you to trust that letting go clears space for something higher. When you stop holding on to who you think you must be, the truth of who you are steps forward. The fears and false beliefs you release are like ashes from which a brighter consciousness will be born. Stop defining yourself by your pain, your past, or your achievements. You are the awareness watching it all. This process requires compassion. Love and bless the outdated versions of yourself for carrying you this far. Nothing was wasted. When you release the old self, your world shifts. Relationships and paths may change. This is alignment. The universe is reorganizing to match your new energy. Do not cling to anything that vibrates below your true self. Whisper to the fading echoes, "Thank you. I release you." You are not losing anything real. You are remembering your original, limitless self. Your unseen ally. Beneath your light is the shadow, the parts of yourself you have rejected. The shadow is not your enemy. It is your unseen ally. It holds your buried power. What you deny controls you. What you embrace transforms you into wholeness. The shadow is not the source of pain. It is the storage of pain, unexpressed emotions, and ignored wounds. When you finally turn toward it, you don't find a monster, but a wounded child asking for love. The shadow reveals itself in the people who irritate you, the fears that follow you, and the patterns that keep repeating. These are not random. They're invitations to heal yourself. Every time you're triggered, it is a teacher in disguise. The path to wholeness. Shadow work requires tenderness, not judgment. You must hold your discomfort as sacred and listen to it. When anger rises, ask what boundary was crossed. When jealousy appears, ask what part of you feels unseen. Awareness turns this poison into medicine. As you integrate your darkness, your compassion expands. You stop judging others for the same flaws you have forgiven in yourself. When you love your shadow, you love humanity. The shadow also carries great gifts like creativity and intuition. When reclaimed, these gifts fuel your divine expression. Wholeness includes both your darkness and your light. Sit with your shadow as with an old friend. Let the fears speak. Say quietly, "I am willing to see all that I am." The teacher you sought was the darkness within, waiting for acknowledgement. Walking by faith. Every journey of awakening leads into fog, where certainty disappears and intuition becomes your only compass. The unseen path is not meant to be clear. It is meant to teach you trust. When you can't see the next step, the step must come from faith. Trust is the bridge between what you see and the infinite. The mind wants guarantees, but the soul thrives in mystery. You are being guided by an intelligence that arranges every meeting and detour with perfect precision. You're not lost. You are being led. The unseen path often begins with endings. A door closes, and the silence that follows can be hard. But this is the universe removing what no longer serves your energy. The emptiness is not punishment.